Hello and welcome to the show Wicklow Good News with me, Gillian Gottsell. Today I'm very pleased to be joined by Brian Carty, who is the CEO of the County Wicklow Partnership. Good morning and welcome to the show, Brian.
Good morning, Jill.
Well, the reason we have you on today is that you're kind of the county's best kept secret. I think, would you say that? You do so much. And I think in this times we said, oh, let's get the county partnership on to talk about the supports that are there for people. And no more than now, people need support across a range of areas. So if I may start, can you explain, it's a big topic I know, your SICAP, the Social Inclusion and Community Activation Program. Tell me some of the elements that are involved there and how they can help the people.
It's a bit of a mouthful, Jill. It doesn't exactly trip off the tongue as a title, but it's a national programme delivered through the Department of Rural and Community Development. And each local development company through the local community development committee deliver these programs across the country. Now, essentially what we're talking about is about a program that supports communities as well as individuals. So we have a team within the SICAP program that is focused on community development, but also on enterprise and employment supports, particularly for people on the enterprise and employment side that are very distant from the labour market. So the local enterprise office, as you know, provides grant aid and supports in their sphere for businesses that are more business ready. Whereas in our sector, we're looking at people in many cases who've been unemployed for a number of years, who are looking to upskill. We provide support for that. We have an enterprise team that engages with individuals and say, well, what are your needs? What are your interests? And identify the supports they need to get them to the first rung of the ladder. And they may eventually become local enterprise office clients, but we're like the nursery, if you like, for people who've had a lot of hard knocks in life and need to get the right support at the right time. We're talking about bespoke supports here, Jill. We're talking about not necessarily just going on a training course for 12 weeks. This is about one-to-one engagement. Training is part of that. So that's what we do on the enterprise and employment side. It's very much an individualistic approach, looking at what people want in order to develop themselves from a business perspective and also to create a job for themselves in the long term. And then on the community development side, we have a team within SICAP that focus on community development supports, assisting community groups in terms of organising events and so on, community development training programs. We, for example, have an addiction studies course that we're running with NUI Maynooth to provide people with supports in terms of identifying addiction issues within their communities, within individuals, and empower communities in terms of how they can make a contribution to their area in a meaningful way. So it's a very broad church, the SICAP program, as is. Yes, huge. Absolutely.
And I mean, I know that you might say like people who are quite distant from jobs, you were saying, and that's a very nice expression actually, and kind of sums it up quite nicely. But I do know, I mean, like I've been a high flyer in my life in the past and hopefully in the future again, but I spent 3 years on the dole and I could not get myself off. And I do know there were loads of local supports that I really enjoyed and that helped me. And what shocked me was it took me so long. And I would have thought, I have international experience, I've got degrees. You know, you'd think that I would turn myself around much faster. And I didn't. Yes. And sometimes you need that. You need to be told, this is like, I had to rewrite my CV. I hadn't written my CV in like 10 years. And the old CV I had was dreadful. And then I got help. And I went, oh, I see what you mean now. I'd much rather employ this person than that person. And so it's not, people can come from any walks of life and any career, if you like, and have breaks and have things. And especially nowadays in this COVID-19 situation where they're unexpectedly being thrown out of work, it's very hard to figure out how to get back on
it is, Jill. And the challenge for us, we've had to reconfigure how we engage with people because we're very much about face-to-face engagement. We're a people business. As a local development company, we have a board consisting of local authority representatives, statutory reps, community and voluntary reps, reps from the social partners. So we've a 14 strong member board, but within that, we then have a core staff of 41. And then we also manage within that the TOOS scheme, which is nearly 200 people who are a year or more unemployed, involved in active labour market programs such as supporting GA pitches, development, supporting charity shops and providing meaningful work experience for people. And there's a team within the company that support them in terms of their professional and development and training. So we're very much a people business, but we've had to reinvent how we engage. And one of the things we're doing, for example, last week we did an online course on manual handling. We're also doing online CV preparation programs so that you can click in through our enterprise team. They provide you with the link, and then you get tips on how to improve your CV, because there are people who are suddenly out of work who may not go back to where they were before this crisis hit and will have to reinvent themselves. Now, hopefully, the majority of people will get back to where they were, but there will be a good number who won't. So we're here to help them. And we're very conscious now, even today, I'm having a meeting with my line management team to look at how we can plan for the recovery. Because we would see ourselves, along with our partners in the council, the HSE and the Department of Social Protection, as a key agent in the recovery plan. And we need to start planning now, because we're going to have a number of people who suddenly will find themselves in a space they never thought they would be in their lives. And that is psychologically unsettling. And like, we do have mental health supports as well within the company. We have a program called Social Prescribing and Wellness, which is an Australian model from what I understand. And it's about non-chemical interventions to support good mental health, whether it be yoga, mind mapping, stress management techniques. And we have a coordinator, Paul Brown, who works with us to support all of that. And we're also supporting families in crisis. We have the Wicklow Child and Family Project based in Wicklow Town. Again, engaging with a number of client families, but we've had to engage with them through WhatsApp video, through Zoom, phone and email, and through distance meetings, the 2-meter rule and all of that. And Christine Keegan, who's our manager there for the last 18 years, has been doing Trojan work for the last few weeks. Again, about supporting the mental health of families, looking at things like, for example, indoor games for kids who are in confinement, activities that can maintain family positivity and solidarity as well, because it's a very difficult space for people to be in a confined space for weeks on end, particularly if you're in an apartment or you mightn't have access to a back garden. Not everyone lives in the country. And so it's a challenge for people in urban environments. So we have had to meet that challenge and think of new ways of engaging with people. And it's an ongoing piece. Like, I'm talking to my staff every day about how we can push the boat out in terms of generating new activities, using social media for one, like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, but also in terms of radio, East Coast Radio, and also in terms of the Wicklow People, the print media, because a lot of the vulnerable groups that we have to engage with and need to engage with are not on the internet, are not on Twitter, etc. So we have to be mindful. And we also need to strike an appropriate tone in our communications with people in terms of what support we can give them, because I'm very conscious that people are suffering to varying degrees around the country and around the county. And social isolation is only one part, but a lot of people are in financial straits as well. So we provide supports in terms of helping people fill out their pandemic unemployment forms with DSP and provide that online support and telephone support. So we try always to be as practical as we possibly can, but be human as well, because our humanity is what has to come to the fore in all of this.
Yeah, it's the people aspect is the thing that really is jumping out at me. So with the SciCap, if people, so that's the reduce the impact of poverty, right? And it's all about jobs, and it's also about lifetime learning, becoming job ready, and maybe might be some entrepreneurs who might come up with some ideas and that thing. How do people join in that process? How does that work?
Well, basically, very simply, if you email info@wicklowpartnership.ie, go to our website, wicklowpartnership.ie. The staff links are there. So if you just email info@wicklowpartnership.ie, you'll be directed to the relevant member of staff that you need support in terms of your particular issue. We have a philosophy here where any door will do. So if you have a particular need, you can go through any door. So in this instance, any email will do, and you will be directed to the right support service that you need at that particular point in time. So it may be the case that you need some employment support or some sort of business development support, but that might translate into something else in a few months' time that we can provide people with. So, like, as I said, we're a broad church. in a secular sense of the word. But so are our sister local development companies, because we're one of 48 around the country.
Wow.
For example, Wexford Local Development would be one of our sister companies. So we're kind of one of Ireland's best kept secret in terms of community and individual supports. And I say that against ourselves because we're so broad in terms of the services we offer. We mean a
I
lot
have
of things.
loads of ideas I want to email you with already. I'm
Yes.
going, I think all these things. And then, so if somebody then, with the family piece now, so that's more like the economic and the job and also the well-being, whatever. With the family, how do families apply if they need support? If they're not quite sure, do they use the same info email, or is there a different?
And they can also contact Christine Keegan, who's the manager of Wicklow Child and Family Project based in Wicklow Town, directly. Her email is on the staff listing on our website, wicklowpartnership.ie, and she can then provide you with the relevant support that you need. And again, it's very
So
much
even
about,
if you don't know if you think you need something, you're not quite sure, if
yeah,
you could ring and they could say, well, we can maybe help you here. They might think of things that you mightn't have thought of, although you're, again, the wood for the trees. You might know what help you need.
absolutely. And like we have a team of therapists within the Wicklow Child and Family Project that are there to support children and families on a one-to-one and group basis, with the
Wow.
social distancing taken into account for obvious reasons. So we have a wealth of supports there, and the majority of our supports, in fact all of them, are provided free of charge.
That is amazing. And then the one other thing too, I just wanted to point out again, this is for people listening in who, okay, they might have an immediate need for jobs or for family help. But if you've got budding entrepreneurs, we were just discussing before we came on air, that amazing video, the 10-year anniversary of all the budding entrepreneurs. And you have from bakers to exhibitions to Paul centers, alpaca farms, all these things. So if somebody has a business idea, that's still operational in the COVID time, they can approach you.
Absolutely. Like we're still business as usual, but we're doing business in a different way, in a virtual way, in a sense. So we've our team of development officers under the Leader program, which supports rural enterprise, and it's an EU supported program with the Irish Exchequer, and it's very much about supporting community enterprise endeavours such as community centres, as well as rural enterprises based in rural County Wicklow. So we're very much open for business. We work in concert with the local enterprise office as well, but certainly for big scale projects, we would be very much open for business and accepting applications on an ongoing basis, whether it be in relation to rural youth, any normal business development projects like in the food area, for example. We would have supported a lot of food related projects over the last number of years, as well as rural renewable projects, and biodiversity projects as well, because the green agenda is becoming more important, as you know, and we're going to continue to pursue that over the next period as well. So we're very much open for business, Jill, in terms of the rural enterprise space.
Wow. And just on that one, can they email anybody and say, I have this idea, or I'm
Yes,
here, wherever they are, and they'll come back
again,
and help?
info@wicklowpartnership.ie,
It's a
and
great
then,
email.
well, listen, it's the access door, and we can divert people to wherever they need to go after that.
It sounds amazing. Can you tell me what lottery numbers to pick?
Well, if I could do that myself, I'd be a very happy man, I can tell you that.
But so that info@wicklowpartnership.ie opens a huge amount of doors. And
Correct.
the website
Absolutely.
itself, go and have a look at it, because more than that, people have time. Well, please God, they have access to Wi-Fi and internet and stuff like that.
Correct.
But go online and have a look, or if they don't go online, get a number and make a call, because there could be help either in looking at their job situation, looking at the family situation, or looking at the enterprise business situation. So there's a huge range of supports there.
Yeah, it's a family. The way I look at it, Jill, it's a family of supports. It's whatever you need at your stage in life, or where you are on a personal level or a business level. And the website is kind of the portal, if you like. The video that you mentioned there a moment ago is on our homepage and gives you a flavour of the range of programs we deliver on behalf of the county. And it gives you a good sense of the human dimension of what we do.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Well, I thank you so much for your time today. I'm so glad to have you on. And maybe what we might do in the future is have some of your clients come and talk about their experience.
Absolutely, Jill.
So, I mean, we're talking like this, but maybe I'll have someone who's accessed the Wicklow Child and Family Scheme, or maybe the getting their CV rewritten. Maybe that could
Correct.
be. I would be very happy to
We'll
do
be
that,
delighted to do that, Jill.
because it'll make it more real and easy and not so
It
scary
would.
then. Yeah.
It's
Okay,
about
let's do that
practical
then.
support. Absolutely.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's very informative, and we'll come back and talk to some of your clients about how they use the service, how they enjoyed it.
That's great, Jill. Love to.
Thank you very much indeed. You're listening to Brian Carthy. They're the CEO of the County Wicklow Partnership that does everything. They're amazing service. So please get in touch with them if you have any ideas or needs. Thank you, Marlena Murphy, producing, and Gavin Dowd on sound. And be good, be safe, and keep on helping others.